part
This meeting is being recorded.
Forest Gate and Maryland PPP event, which is People Part Places event. And I welcome you all and thank you all for supporting this event. I just want to start, I'll say thank you to a number of colleagues, Ricky, we have got Anna online and we have got Chris here. And all the community neighborhood team for today. We also have BSL interpreter here. And if anybody needs, can you put your hand up now, please? Anybody need BSL? Okay. Okay, before we start, I'm going to request one thing. It only takes 2 minutes to give feedback at the end of this meeting. I ask you, you can do it online. We have got barcodes on all the tables. Or you can do it when we open the community area about 7 o'clock. Please do that. And people who don't want to be photographed, they're wearing a lanyard. So whoever is taking the pictures in the team, please make sure. Or people turn their faces away when pictures are being taken. Thank you. Okay, Chris, we can start now. Thank you. Okay, first housekeeping. I've already mentioned the photography. We will take a few pictures. If you don't want to be photographed, like I said, please turn your face away, put your hand up, and you don't want pictures to be taken. We have no fire alarm or fire drills planned today. If the alarm goes off, it's for real. So we'll have to exit and we'll guide you on that. BSL, if anybody is coming in registration, please let us know if anybody needs that help. We have got the room team and we have got the facilitator and experts. And I thank you all the project leads who are here today. One of them couldn't make it due to, I think that due to health reasons, but everybody else is here and thank you. Okay, I think everybody should have signed a consent form for your pictures to be taken. And the reason we take pictures or photographs or film footage, we use it for various reasons like newspaper articles, magazines, brochures, newsletters, posters, and the list goes on. And for the data protection reasons, each and every one of you need to sign a consent form. Okay. So this is the schedule today. And we welcome you, and I'll explain very briefly why we are here today. Then I'll introduce you to our local councillors who are here today and our corporate director, and they'll make some opening remarks. You will also hear experiences from our working group members who are here today. Then the project feedback and achievements. So Chris and Lynette will be going around to the project leads who will be telling you what achievements have been made. All the projects in Forest Gate and Maryland have been completed, so there should be substantial feedback. We are very, very proud of all the projects and the quality of our projects. Then there'll be just about 15 minutes questions from residents in person and online. And then we'll open the marketplace. You can meet the project leads. You can ask them questions as well. And we'll give you a bingo card to facilitate the conversation or initiate the question. And then Councillor Charlene McLean will be making the closing remarks. Thank you. So I think most of you who have attended before are probably very familiar with the People Part Places. These were called community assemblies, and only since this cycle, we have changed it to People Part Places. It gives Newham residents the chance to make positive changes within their area. We are one of the largest participatory budgeting program in the country. As you know, Newham has got 8 community neighbourhoods, and each neighbourhood receives £200,000 funding to spend on local projects in the 2 years. Anyone who lives, works, or learns in community neighbourhood could take part in this cycle or apply for the funding. The money comes from Newham Neighbourhood Community Infrastructure Levy. It is a levy, it's a charge on all the new developments to help fund strategic and neighbourhood infrastructure in Newham. So what is the criteria for NSAIL funded projects? These are projects that help the development and growth of your area, projects that improve the public spaces and infrastructure, and projects that improve the health and happiness. And all the projects here who are here today met that criteria. Okay, next please. So I think all of you are also familiar with the 2-year cycle. And you can see there are different phases in this cycle. The first phase was deliberation, and it started with the launch of the cycle on 27th of April 23, and that was at Stratford Library. And then our priorities, followed by our priorities, PPP. PPP is for people, power, and places. And that happened in May 2023, where all the residents in this area or in this neighborhood came together and they decided which priorities they wanted for this area, and they voted on those. And then that was followed by our solution. So once the priorities were set and we wanted to know what kind of projects the area or people, residents, organizations wanted to go forward. So you all came together again, you all sat down, you all decided the kind of type of projects you wanted in this area, and that helped all the projects leads who also attended that meeting to design and put forward their applications, which between 20th of June to 10th of September. The next was Big Vote, which was at Stratford Library on the 21st of October. And that went on for the next month. Everybody in person or online could do the voting. And it was actually very, very successful this time. Forest Gate is always very proactive when it comes to selecting projects, and over 900 people voted for the projects. So next came we announced the successful projects in November 23, and the project delivery started in January and went on until December 2025. In between, we had our projects meeting, which was very similar to this, where project leads came here, and you all heard how the projects were progressing and if they had any challenges, and how they were overcoming those challenges as well. So now we are here, our neighborhood, and where everybody will be giving you feedback, and it's your opportunity to learn about the project and also ask them questions as well. And the final event will be the celebration event in April 2025. Thank you. Okay, our community neighborhood. I think everybody is aware that it is made up of 3 wards: Forest Gate North, Forest Gate South, and Maryland. So these are the 3 priorities which is selected in 2023. The first one was health and well-being. The second one was community development and participation. And the third one was community safety. And health and well-being covers improving health and social care, tackling health inequalities, and also loneliness, isolation, and mental health. As you can see from the screen, community development and participation, it helps to increase people's involvement and sense of belonging to their local community. And Forest Gate probably is at the top of that because everybody wants to change their area, everybody comes forward, and our residents are really, really proactive in that. It also helped to increase the volunteering, culture, interfaith, and intercultural dialogue. Last one is community safety, and the aim is to improve women's safety, tackling the roots of crime and antisocial behavior, raising awareness around hate crime, and so on. So why are we here today? As you know, we received a budget of 200,000, and in Newham, we received 366 project applications and totaling 4.6 million. Over 10,000 residents voted for their favorite projects in October and November 2023. A total of 15 projects were selected in this area. These projects have been delivering during 2024. And like I said earlier, this is your opportunity to meet these projects. So what have we achieved so far? So 4,386 engagements were reached through people, part, place events, which is 86% increase for 2022-23. So thank you to everybody who has attended these events. You're the people who make these programs successful. So next is 366 applications were received, and that is the whole of Neum from residents and voluntary sector. 10,000 individuals voted for their favorite projects, and it is funding 120 projects. 91% of residents found People Powered Places events very easy to participate in, and 88% of the residents felt more connected to their local area after they coming to our events. So this is project participant perspective. So a lot of feedback, we gathered substantial feedback right from the beginning of this cycle since 2023, and especially in 2024 when the projects were being delivered. And this is some of the feedback from each area. I can read you the Forest Gate one, which is the last one, improving community assets on right-hand side corner. I think it has made a lot of difference to the wider community because people have got somewhere to go. It's a real safe place, an interesting place, because I come here quite a lot and there are always young children in here. This is a volunteer from Up Garden. Susie's here today and you can hear more about the Up Garden. So. Okay, we have Forest Gate and Maryland Working Group. We have got 13 working group members who are active since 2023. And as you can see, we have had a lot of meetings, and they have been really, really supportive throughout the cycle. And some of them are here today. And I've got two people who will tell you more about it. And that is Claire and Laura Burley. And I'm going to pass it on to them.
So, hello, my name is Claire. So, as a working group member, I've had the privilege of acting as a bridge between the council, residents, and project teams. My role has evolved from reviewing proposals to getting to know the people behind selected projects, tracking their progress over time, and sharing feedback with the council. This ongoing engagement has been key to ensuring transparency and accountability. One of the projects I've monitored, the Up Garden, is a great example of what can be achieved with community funding and a committed project team. While the funding phase has ended, its legacy is only just taking shape. A nature trail, a book exchange, and even a community piano. These aren't just physical additions to a space, they are invitations for connection, learning, and creativity. With thousands of visitors expected over the coming years, this project demonstrates what sustainability looks like, something that continues to enrich lives long after the funding stops. Another project I've been monitoring, Save Our Street Planters, highlights the power of community action. People of all ages have come together, painting signs, propagating plants, donating materials, clearing rubbish. And the biggest transformation hasn't just been physical, it's been an attitude. Over time, there's been a noticeable decline in the mistreatment of the street planters and a rise in the community pride. Now, with a dedicated group of volunteers stepping up to maintain this good work, the impact will continue to grow. What stands out most to me is how this initiative brings community together for a positive cause and empowers individuals to take ownership of their surroundings. By fostering a sense of pride and belonging, people are inspired to actively contribute to their local area. People-powered places gives communities a real voice in shaping their neighbourhood. It's not just about funding, it's about what that funding makes possible, creating lasting, meaningful change. Thanks, Claire.
Hi everyone, I'm Laura and I live in Forest Gate for about the last 4 years. And being a working group member has been a really good experience, so I'd really encourage others to get involved in future. So I joined the working group because I wanted to get to know more about my local area. Having moved here during COVID, I didn't really feel that connected until I got involved with the working group. And I just really love the concept of residents running projects to benefit their own community. and deciding how public money is spent for our benefit. So it's been really inspiring to see all the ideas that people have and the practical ways that they've improved our health, well-being, community safety, and participation. So my role has been kind of evaluating and reporting back on the projects to kind of make them, even stronger than they already are, and to kind of give those learnings for future projects. So I've also monitored community gardens, including the Up Garden that Claire has talked so well about, and the Forest Gate Community Garden. But they aren't really or just solely about plants, all of these garden spaces. So in Forest Gate Community Garden, lots of groups use the space, from schools to NHS patients. And Fiona, the outreach officer, has just done such a fantastic job in reaching so many different new people and getting them to access the garden. So these are spaces that are improving our well-being, our health, our community interaction, and makes our environment greener, in an area so kind of impacted by traffic, air pollution, feeling the impacts of climate change. This is so beneficial. And the team and the volunteers in the community gardens just work so hard, and they've really thought about how to make them inclusive and accessible. So in Forest Gate Community Garden, one of their real achievements out of many has been having new paving laid down for wheelchair users and pushchairs. So a real practical impact there. And I also wanted to mention some of the projects that I haven't personally monitored, but I've just been really impressed with what I've heard. So MGB Youth Fitness, for example, that's been supporting young people, particularly those from poorer backgrounds, to overcome challenges such as low self-esteem, drug abuse through holistic fitness sessions. And What's the Point Knife Crime has also done fantastic work addressing community safety. So they're also working with young people to change culture in schools, communities around the culture of carrying knives. So just really so many projects benefiting people in different ways. And personally, I've just learned a lot about how to work collaboratively with others through the meetings on the working group and visiting the projects and just seeing how all the teams work on the projects. So yeah, it's been really fun, and I feel much more a part of Forest Gate now. So yeah, definitely encourage others to get involved. And thanks to Jyoti for having us.
May I ask other working group members to come forward as well, please? Josephine, Adiemi, please. Thank you. Anybody else here? Any of the other working group members, please?
Okay, I'm Adeyemi, I'm Shonubi. This is my second time of joining the working group, and it's been a very wonderful experience. And one of the reasons why I joined was to also be aware of my environment, to know what is going on, and to also meet more people. And it has really been an interesting experience. I must say that I really enjoyed the time spent scoring the project, because this year we had very detailed projects that we had to read so well to understand what is being done, and then quite interesting project also. And also, I want to use this opportunity to congratulate all the project lead, because I discovered that every one of them completed their projects in due time, and that is maybe due to the fact that the year was even the time was increased this year. And I want to say a big congratulations to everyone. Thank you.
Hello, can you hear me? My name is Pauline Ledger, and I monitored 3 projects, the dance and movement, the community garden, and the pop-up food bank. And in all the time I've been on this project, it struck me what a fantastic place Forest Gate is to live, with so much community involvement and so many imaginative ways of engaging with the community, but also with the environment around us. So long may it last.
Hello, everyone. My name is Josephine Aji, and yes, I'm part of the working group member, and it's been an amazing journey for me. Getting to know that Forest Gate is giving people the opportunity to be able to do things that are for the people. When I heard the name People Powered Places, I was like, okay, what exactly is this, whole idea about, people powering, the community by themselves? And then I got involved, and it's been amazing all the way. A good example of the projects that was done is actually the lighting project. What we had before was a lonely route where, let's say, for example, during the winter time, maybe like 3, 4 p.m., and the road is already dark, and you want to go get some things. It becomes an issue because it's dark and it's lonely. You don't want to go through that route. But now we have light. So anyone can go through that place. So it's beneficial not only to, the residents that are using the road, but also to our people that are actually, doing their businesses there, because now we can go and we can patronize those people. So it's like a win-win for everybody in that place. Another one again that I actually was part of was feeding Newham. If you don't go out, you really don't see what people are going through. But getting to that site on that day, and then being part of the people that were distributing foods and some other stops to people, it was really, really amazing. Getting to know what the residents are actually doing for people around them. These are residents that are doing things for other residents, which I think is really, really amazing. It's not someone from outside who doesn't understand what we're going through. It's people that are actually part of us, part of the community, that are actually powering the community for the community. So it's been an amazing journey, and I am glad and excited that I was actually, chosen to be a part of this season's People Power Places. Thank you so much.
Evening all, I'm Lauren, and is really proud to see a lot of people here today. It shows how good Forest Gate in Maryland as a community is, that you've been able to spend your time here to see where the money is spent. So thank you for being here. For me, what was kind of touched for me, knowing that there's so many projects and how detailed the applications was, and no kind of heartfelt as well, knowing that they see it from their own eyes of how this borough deserves it, and knowing that we're able to get the funding for it and seeing how it's been distributed lovely, it's been like a great little blessing, and like glad to be part of the whole volunteering process of it all. So the projects I was monitoring was like feeding Newham, being able to be hands-on, packing the bags, giving it to the people, seeing how appreciative they were, because it's hard. Cost of living is very real. And there are some people who might feel away like, oh no, like, oh, I shouldn't take it, shoulda, coulda, wouldas and stuff. But at the end of the day, the foundation, we need food. We need food to get the energy, to be able to do the volunteering, to be able to function and all of that stuff. We deserve it. So just like to say thank everyone for being here, and it's been great to be part of the whole experience. And yes, go on Forest Gate, Maryland.
Come forward. We can take a picture for you, please. The camera is there. I wholeheartedly thank all of you. And we actually had to drag Lauren away from the projects because she was volunteering so much. So thank you to each and every one of you. And all of you work and still found the time to help your local community. Thank you. Okay, local councillors, everybody knows they play such a big part in our community. They're your representatives, and some of the councillors are here today. May I call them forward, please, to introduce themselves and say a few words, please. And Councillor Rachel needs to go to another meeting, so she can go first. And Councillor, if you say a few words, because you're our working group member as well, please.
Thank you. I'm Rachel. I'm one of the councillors for Forest Gate North. There are lots of familiar faces here, which is always great to see, and lots of new faces too, which is even better. I wanted to be part of the working group in Forest Gate, and I was also part of the working group for the whole project across Newham, because what this project is trying to do really cut to the heart of why I stood to be a councillor in the first place, which is that really our greatest strength is our people and the ideas that we have. And if change is really going to happen, then that has to be designed by and run by local people, who are the people who know their community and their projects and their neighbourhoods and their friends and neighbours best. So it was really exciting to get a chance to be part of that. It has been such a pleasure to see the project develop and to see the structure of the project improve. It's been such a pleasure to see, as I said, some people and organisations that I know really well making successful bids, and also to see new people and new organisations coming along and showing, as other people have said, that Forest Gate in Maryland is a really fantastic place to be, and our greatest strength is the people that we have and the ideas that they have and the real desire that they have to make this an even better place to live.
Thank you so much.
I was just saying to Joycey that as Winston walked up, he said, "You do the talking." He knows I can't refuse him anything. My name's Madeline Sully-Pontin. I'm a Newham girl. I'm a Forest Gate girl. My kids were brought up in Forest Gate, as with Winston and his kids and Rachel and her kids. We are councillors because we are of the people. That's the whole point of being a councillor. You want to stand to be a councillor so you can help your fellow residents, your friends, your family, and your neighbours. You are all our neighbours, okay? We want the best for all of us together, and that's why it's important on councils that you have to be living or working in the area. What's fantastic standing next to Rachel, and sometimes I feel I am not worthy of either of these two. Rachel's actually the chair of one of our major planning committees, and it's at her committee that we sit and do the interesting but also very paper-based job of going through all the planning applications. And it's from those planning applications that we push not only to ensure that there's enough social housing available to people within Newham, but also to make sure that the developers give their NSIL money. They give the money that then is passed on through the council. It's not sucked back into the council coffers, to pay for our tea and biscuits. It's paying for your tea and biscuits up the back, okay? Because that money belongs to the people, because it is the people's land and the people's resources that are being developed by developers when they come into the borough to build houses and other projects. So thanks to Rachel for the amazing work. How long have you been the planning chair?
I've only been chair for a few years, but I've been on the committee for 10 years.
OMG. All right, think how many millions she's got in for the borough, yeah? And of course, Winston, how long have you been a councillor for?
Oh, very long time.
He is actually only 21, but he works very hard, all right? So we are very lucky that we have such active residents. You coming out here on this dark, cold evening in the middle of the week, when you've got your own responsibilities, your own families and your own establishments and shops, etc., to look after, is testament to the amount that the people of Newham actually care about their community. And it's not just you sat in the middle, you precious residents, okay, but it's also all the precious organisations, whether they're Newham residents or whether they work here, they are also committed to being here. So the people I want to clap is you, the volunteers, and as well as all the people that have made this possible this evening. So thank you to all of you for being out.
Thank you very much, Councillor.
It's just that needs to do the warm-up.
Of course. Good evening, everyone. I am so thrilled to see so many of you local people here who got involved in the various meetings to introduce the Forest Gate for the things that you would like to see where you're part of and so forth. I have been a councillor 25, 26 years now, okay? And there was a time when the Stratford area was being developed that we were involved in what we can benefit from the development of Westfield. And I do remember, I remember this vaguely, that we had local meetings as well as to what we need along the Wood Grange Road, because we wanted that to be like the city. And one thing I remember I was very adamant about, that we have more coffee shops. Today, I'm delighted to see that the coffee shops are being increased. So, yeah.
He loves his coffee. He runs on coffee.
Yeah, that's quite right. But I want to congratulate you all as well, because I think you did a marvelous job in deciding on the projects in which that you have undertaken. I do, when I can, visit the meetings in which you help normally, and I'm impressed to see the vitality and the ownership, I would call it, that you put into what you would want to see in your local area. I think you've done a fantastic job. I'm not quite sure if there's any more projects, Rachel, but hopefully there will be, so we can call Forest Gate City. Thank you all very much indeed for doing things.
Thank you very much, councillors. Much appreciated. Thank you. Okay, we'll swiftly move on now. We are running slightly late, everybody online, so please bear with us. So next I call our Corporate Director, CMT Lead, Rachel McCoy, Director of Legal and Governance, and our Monitoring Officer. She's here to say a few words as well. Rachel, over to you.
Thank you. I've been promoted. I'm like corporate director, corporate director. So firstly, thank you so much for the invitation today. This is absolutely fantastic to come down and just see the great work. I've been speaking with Jyoti about all the different projects and just listening to the testimony, really. It's by us, for us. That's kind of how I'd express kind of the sentiment that's been spoken about. And it is a powerful thing, isn't it? What you can do with agency and that confidence, and just some infrastructure to show actually this is possible and these ideas are great, and it creates innovation, and it's locally based. It's what you want. You know what you want in your own area, and make it happen. Take ownership of it, custody of it, and just develop and go from strength to strength. So it's absolutely fantastic. So as it's been said, I'm sure you've heard, quite a lot about it. But in terms of just how the funding works, that's right. It's from development that happens within the borough, and ensuring through the negotiations of those legal agreements and all the, kind of discussions that happen with developers. If they come in and they're going to want to do something, within the borough of Newham, then we need to ensure that we secure the right contributions for local communities and get the right infrastructure in place. And this is where this money is harnessed. So £200,000 for each of the community areas so far. And it's fantastic that you're there, aren't you? You're at the end of cycle, you've done it, demonstrated, delivered it. So going from strength to strength. And this is really what the council's corporate priorities are all about, building a fairer Newham and developing this and ensuring communities and the community voice and the heart, it just remains at the centre. And this is a demonstrable example of that. You're famous. This project is absolutely famous across nationally and internationally, actually, even in different spaces, like with different think tanks and different organisations. They've been like, oh, wow, you've got, that biggest participatory democracy kind of, what do you call it, framework, architecture. Yeah, and they're learning from us, and we set the trend. So that's quite exciting, isn't it? So, as a council, absolutely, wedded to continuing that, that investment in local people. And, this is kind of why we do, even us officers in local government, it's kind of why we do what we do as well, which is to serve and just that service and contribution. So, is there more you wanted me to say, or, so I don't want to bore you all, but, well, you've kind of had an introduction now, so I'm happy to mill around and learn more. And, if anyone wants to know anything about the day in the life of a monitoring officer or kind of what we get up to, come and grab me. But thank you.
Thank you so much, Rachel. Okay, now we're coming to another exciting part, where we're going to hear from our project leads. So just give us a minute in which we organize how everybody is going to feedback. We're going to start with Fiona and we're going to finish on this side. So Chris, we'll come to you. Chris, that's right. We can come to you, Fiona. And please introduce yourself and briefly update about your project. As I said earlier, all the projects have been completed. You all have achieved quite a lot. I want to hear about it. So, Glynette, I'm going to pass you over to you. Thank you.
Hi, is that okay? Yeah. I'm Fiona, and my project was Save Our Street Planters. It came about because of the real sadness there was around how awful a lot of the planters were looking. Sounds like a small thing, but it was impacting how people were feeling about the area. My aim was to make them look lovely again, but this needed to be done with the cooperation of the community, and I had, you're kind of putting me off, sorry. Had to be sustainable. Right, I've been looking after 24 planters on Wood Grange and Romford Road, as well as Earlham Grove and Upton Lane. It's easy to think that simply tidying, planting and watering is the answer, but there has been a lot more to it depending on where the planters were. One example is the one nearest to the co-op. Small bench for people to hang out, plus no bin equals planter is the bin. So I asked the council highways team if they could source a bin for me. It eventually came the day before my funding ended. Thanks, Shay, for getting that sorted for me, and that planter can now breathe again. Bins are obviously not always the answer though. Changing people's habits is key. Over the year, myself and other volunteers have chatted nicely to those that have been littering and spitting. We've also had great conversations with passers-by who've been kind and encouraging and appreciative of what we're doing. We've done other things to encourage better behaviour as well. I've tried different types of cigarette bins. I started off the cheap route and was using old soup tins, which people were taking. Then I attached them to the planters. They still took them. And now we've got proper bins that I've actually drilled into the planters, which they're still pulling apart, but it's a lot better. Fun signage, those were made, if you get children to make the signs, it's much more effective. I didn't know that. I researched it, and that was the key thing. So many youngsters have kindly encouraged positive posters for me. These have definitely helped. So one of the girls did this, which is amazing. And some of them have got really like sweet little sayings on them that the children have made up. I haven't told them to do anything. We also made signs in different languages to stop the spitting as well. So there's different signs for that. I didn't want to simply buy lots of plants and bulbs and seeds and all that kind of thing. I wanted the community involved in propagating them too, which I and they did. I also got donations for free plants wherever I could, including the co-op gave me plants that were dying in the store that they couldn't sell. I took them and we brought them back to life and we used those. What else? To clear the planters, I was able to get the help of various corporate groups, local scouts. One of the mosques helped me, some of the schools, council groups and individual volunteers. Once cleared, the beautifying could begin and the plants went in. Summer came and the weather got very hot and I needed to come up with some ideas to keep the planters hydrated. I invested in a large portable water tank, which is now kept in the Forest Gate Community Garden. I use the Forest Gate Community Garden a lot for tools and stuff. And that portable water but can be used by the whole community. So it's in the Forest Gate Community Garden, but it can be used by anyone. For the larger plants, I chatted with the nearest shopkeepers and they were keen to support and they agreed to water the plants when needed, which was great. But the key thing to the whole thing has been making people aware that the planters are being cared for. It seems to make them feel differently about them. Getting locals to support with planting, clearing, watering, propagating and signage gives everyone a real feel or a real sense that they're doing something for the community and gives a bit of ownership for the planters. The best part for me of the project has been meeting and working with the variety of adults and children that I have. It's probably been over 100 people on and off that I've been working with, and it's been from all parts of the community. It's been great fun and extremely satisfying, and most certainly won't end here. So I've set up something with the Forest Gate Community Garden that we're going to continue looking after the planters this year as well. We're just going to carry on looking after them, basically. We're going to form another group who will look after them more regularly. As someone said to me in the summer, I wanted these planters gone as they were so awful to see every day. Now they make me smile. So that was job done for me, really. Beautiful planters, community involvement and sustainable. That's what I was asked to do, and that's what I did. And I loved it. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you very much, Fiona. I think we have got Shofa online who may go next. Shofa's group is here, but Shofa is at work, so she couldn't be here.
Oops, sorry, so sorry. Hello? Hello?
Oh, I can hear you. Chris, can you hear us online?
Yes. Sorry, am I online?
Shofar, I can hear you.
Okay, am I feeding back now?
Hold on a second. Let me just go to the main room. Shofar, we're just sorting out the technical. Oh, right, here we go. Okay. Shofar, are you still with us?
Yes, I'm still here.
Okay, I think the room can hear you now.
Sorry. Hi. Sorry, can people see me visibly? I'm just in a building where there's poor reception.
Yeah, we can see you. Go for
Brilliant.
it.
Thank you. Thank you so much. So, unfortunately, I haven't been able to come in for today's feedback session, but our Ashrock's Vision International youth members and leaders are in the room. And what I would like to say about the achievements, first of all, we just want to thank NUM for providing these types of opportunities for residents and VCSOs, who are voluntary charity organizations. I feel like our charity obviously has developed in Newham straight from the start, from the community assembly to the People Powered program now. And it's grown so well over the last 5 years. We've been present outside Forest Gate Station in the market, Wood Grange Marketplace. And this project in particular, which covered 3 areas, which was community safety, engagement, and also the other third priority, we felt like we were able to fulfill all our aims and objectives, and above and beyond. I think we in terms of engaging young people, we almost doubled what we aimed to do. The report and the stats are there with Jyoti and the team. There's a lovely report we put together, and we were just absolutely amazed at how well the project has done in terms of engaging, not like, just groups of young people. We've involved hundreds of young people. The outcomes from that, for example, we trained up 50 first aid responders. We did 10 mental health youth first aiders. We held, I don't have the figure now, but if you calculate over 2 years, every Saturday, if there's a market session where young people, between 10 to 20 young people are turning up, that's quite big numbers. We've also been able to, engage with other community groups such as Fiona, who was here before us, the community garden, as well as Forest Gate School, and people from all age ranges as well. One of the best outcomes and most important outcomes is how sustainable we've demonstrated how sustainable this has been in terms of, even though this project has ended, we're still operating. Come January, we've already done 3 stalls so far this year, and the legacy from this project. And the other last 2 cohorts as well. It's just made us grow. Our alumni group, who are now in their 20s, some of them have gone off to uni, some have come back to become trustees, and we're now writing like a new strategy. What have we achieved, and what can we go on to do? So on our table in the room, I can see in the screen, if you go to our table, there are visual representation of what we've done, how many young people have turned up, the variety of young people that have turned up. And I think it's quite rare, these types of photographs, to see young people engaging in nature, biodiversity, and outdoors, because a lot of things are online now. And obviously our charity focus is mental health, well-being, emotional, social, also economic kind of aspect to it as well. So, we've got Ishmael, Miraj, Maria, Karima, Hussein, Sarah in the room right now. And we've got lots of other young people who are between 11 and up to the age of 25 who've engaged in this project. And we were also able to create 6 job roles, which were called market officer roles. So they set up in the marketplace. We've got Woodgrange Market, which is like a hub for Forest Gate, and everybody's supported us. Everybody's come out to our events. The celebration event we had recently, we had Councillor Sabia Kamali, who turned up, saw what we were doing. She was so impressed. She said, and like the presenter said earlier, other boroughs, I'm in Westminster at the moment where I work, other boroughs don't have, this type of advanced people participation funding. They do, but they're just beginning. But I think in Newham, this is, we've been doing it for a good couple of years now. And the level of growth we've had, understanding, it was quite difficult in the first couple of years. But I felt in this 2 years, we've learned a lot. The staff have been amazing. And one of the best legacies we're going to have, Newham Council are going to give us plaques to put on the planters that we've been maintaining as a kind of thank you to our charity. So we're going to continue that. So even though the project's ended, we've got the Berriquet planters outside Wanstead station. We've got Forest Gate Conway, and we've also got our marketplace as well, where we can display these plaques to say young people in Newham are continuing to value, look after, and care about their environment, and they want to see, they want to grow, develop, and have more opportunities. And one of the things our young people are saying now is, we hope Newham Council have seen, the great work we've done, and we hope we can continue and get more support, because we're ready to do more work. So thank you everybody for listening, and any questions, you can go to our table. There's an email, there's a QR code, and there's a telephone number as well. So thank you everybody from all of us for, showing support. Is that okay?
Thank you, Shilpa. Thank you. Okay, we'll move on to the next project, please. May I ask everybody to be really brief for 2 minutes, please? That's your slot, so we can finish this on time. Thank you.
Hello, everybody. My name's Derek Smith, and I'm the treasurer of Forest Gate Festival. And I'm going to tell you, what we did with the money. Forest Gate Festival was on July the 6th in 2024. There were 121 stalls down the road. That's on Osborne Road, which is just a little way up here. There were 2 stages, and K Row, the nursery, they did lots of events for younger children, well, under 8s really. We got £5,000 from PPP, and we used that on art, dance, play, for local entertainers, and for community groups. Okay, here's some of the, the local entertainers. Foresters, Z, Forest Gate Rock, Rob de Roche, Lake House Bell, Reggae Choir, Elton John Project, that's not Elton John, just the project, and Don Clark Trio. We had quite a bit of art, which was funded with PPP money. Eleanor Pierce, right, she had a giant green woman and invited people to paint, draw, or cut to be part of that project. There was lino printing, and that was for children and for adults. Also for children, there was Make Do Play, and they came with games and lots of art. We had a circus skill workshop, which taught kids how to juggle and walk on stilts. We had a magician who did an amazing thing with balloons. We also subsidised community groups this year with PPP money. And okay, this is who we subsidised. Save Our NHS, Woodcraft Folk, Forest Gate Community Garden, Scouts, Newham Writing Workshop, St Mark's, Magpie Project, Newham Solidarity Fund, Recycled Reeds, Newham Cyclists, Up Garden, and Clapton Community Football Club. Wow, that was a lot, wasn't it? Okay. The last thing I'm going to talk about is about really sustainability. And 2 points, really. The first thing for Forest Gate Festival, for it to be sustainable, it has to be enjoyable. It's got to be a good day out for everybody. So obviously that's why we were really intent in getting lots of local performers, lots of art, lots of stalls. The second point is encouraging local performers, local artists, and community groups. They're the people, well, who show it's a local festival. And of course, local people bring local people. So it works in the end. Thank you very much for listening. One more point. It's likely to be on July the 5th this year, Osborne Road again. So we hope to see you all. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Derek. May I request again, everyone, I'm going to time everybody for 2 minutes. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Lana, and I work for Newham Youth for Christ. I'm here to tell you about what we've been doing on the What's the Point anti-knife crime program, a really essential program. We've worked in 7 schools to tackle knife crime. And what we've been doing is we've been training young people as peer influencers. So young people are being trained up with the skills to influence their peers to stay away from knife crime. Really important. It's a 10-week program, and they've participated in things like meeting victims of knife crime, gang members, street doctors who help them to learn how to save lives. There's more, what else? They learned about grooming. They learned about joint enterprise. So it's really comprehensive. And the kids, you have to say, our Newham young people have been absolutely fantastic. They are our biggest resource. and they really did us proud. They all volunteered. In fact, we were always oversubscribed. And then they did a peer assembly for their peers with no help. I had to fight to get the teachers to leave it alone, but the kids, they were great. And they did their assembly for their peers, and they're ready now to go out in the community to tackle knife crime. It's such an important safeguarding opportunity. So thank you for this opportunity to do this project.
Good evening, everybody. My name is Paul Amuzi. My project is Break the Silence. We were a privilege, really, to be part of this amazing group of people that have been working to support our community that we love. Break the Silence, we set out to create 3 men's circles across Forest Gate, one in St. Anthony's Primary School, originally one in Forest Gate School and St. Bonaventure's. We weren't able to eventually get into those 2 last schools. So we did a circle in St. Emmanuel's Church and here in Forest Gate Library. And we conducted about 38 sessions across the year. And we also was able to do some amazing sessions with 2 of the wonderful groups here. And some of the boys that were in the session over there in Ashok, who were amazing, who we did a bespoke session for men's leadership and mental health. And then also the amazing group over there in Muscle Basin Gym, where we did a great session for about 25 young men. And yes, some of the young men that were there are here as well, who were amazing in opening up and talking about the challenges of manhood and what we need to do. I've got one of my colleagues here who's going to briefly talk, who was facilitating some of the sessions. He's been waiting to speak, so I just want to give him a moment. What some of our participants that were going to speak have had to leave.
Yeah, so it's quite loud. I've naturally got a loud voice, in fairness. But yeah, just adding on to what Paul said, essentially, the sessions that we run is to really highlight and really bring about a space for young men to be able to speak and to talk. I think we've obviously seen the reality of how hard it is for men to speak out, but most importantly, we've recognized one of the reasons for that is because sometimes they don't have a space for them to be able to speak out. And I think our title pretty much encapsulates that in terms of breaking the silence, because it is a silence that men sort of face. And as a result, as we know, when people bottle things up, that obviously adds as a result turns into sort of things which we sort of see, hence why we're talking about sort of knife crime and other issues which sometimes perpetuate from people bottling and sort of concerns and issues that they have. So I think at Break the Silence, we're keen to allow spaces for young men to be able to speak out about their concerns, but most importantly, about things that often men are sometimes frowned upon talking about. How are we able to encourage young men to be able to speak out about their emotions, about their feelings, about relationships, about things that sometimes men are not often allowed to speak about. And I think it's important that we encourage spaces to allow that and foster those conversations to happen. So as what Paul said, we've been fortunate enough to work with some of the organizations here today, and we hope and pray that we're able to obviously spread the word and be able to work in other spaces. So hence why today is so important for us to get that crucial funding to continue our work.
Very, very quickly, just want to say a big thank you also to the monitoring residents that supported us. And they came to our circles, they participated in our circles. One of the youngest members of the working group actually carried on staying, participating in the circles as well. If anybody wants to see any of our stuff, we've got some of the testimonies from the men that were able to come and were willing to then tell their story on our website. We had about 50 men participate all together, and we worked with about 35 young people. It was very, very hard to get these men to come regularly. We worked very, very hard to do so. We were supported a lot from the different groups here, and Jolty and her team. So thank you very much, everybody.
Hello, my name's Stella Howard. I'm one of the resident people. My project was called Inclusive Rhythms. It was a monthly workshop for 7 months for families with children with a special educational need or a learning disability. The workshops were held here in the library. They're based in fundamental movement skills, so encouraging locomotion, non-locomotion, and hand skills, dexterity skills. And then they were also based in art. So we'd use art to work on fine motor skills. We'd use dance to work on gross motor skills. They were also about creativity and trying to empower the children to have choice and voice. So we'd pick a theme and then they could come along and take that theme wherever we wanted. The challenge of the program was actually getting in as many disabled families as we wished. We had 92 participants, of which 2/3 were children and 1/3 was disabled or had a special educational need, which kind of relates directly to the fact that it was a family project and that people came with their children. I have a really lovely quote from a mother whose son is 8 years old, and she said, "It was so good to see him interacting with the teachers and other kids. We don't usually get to see that at home. If we, as parents, ask him to do anything, he just doesn't respond to us. So it was really nice to see him listening, playing, and interacting." And then just to say, the kids came from Godwin School, Sandringham, Odessa, and we're really proud of what we achieved. Thank you.
I'll really try to stick to 2 minutes. It's impossible. A project of a year in 2 minutes really is very. So you need to come and see what we've done at Forest Garden, which is just 5 minutes walk from here, just down Earlham Grove. We're open on Fridays and Saturdays from 10 till 3, Sundays 10 till 12, Tuesdays 10 till 12. We discussed it, our steering group, which is open to everybody. We meet once a month, the end of on Wednesdays. Our steering group decided we wanted to spend money on making the garden more accessible, more comfortable for people, and to increase the number of people who are coming in the week. We didn't have anybody coming in the week. So we had 2 big projects. Kevin and here led the project about building a big shelter and putting out accessible pathways, which has been a dramatic difference for us. We can now use it in the winter, opening up the kitchen. Fiona, in her other role, as it were, has done an amazing job with outreach. The garden is used almost every day in good weather now. We reached lots of groups who never came to the garden before: childminders, home educators, LGBTQ group, people with learning difficulties, refugees. I could go on. And she has done an amazing job. She's upped our footfall by 50% in one season, which is just an amazing achievement. We also did some well-being things. We did art workshops, some signage things, some gardening projects as well. But the big differences have been our physical differences and the outreach project. We really like to thank Jyoti and her team, who gave us fantastic support. I can almost use the new Fusion finance system now, almost. It's really, really hard, but I can do it. So do come and see us. We have issues about continuity. Funding is now very difficult for charities like ours. We have funding for Fiona till March, but we're putting in lots of effort to raise our own funds. So come to plant sales, come to groups, make a contribution online. £1 a month would really help us. If lots of people gave us £1 a month, that would help us continue with the good work we do. So come and see us.
Hi everyone, I'm Joy Karen Cantor from One Newham. I'm going to keep it really short. Our project was a gazebo project. We're still ongoing. If you would like to hire a gazebo, it's just £10. We worked with 21 events over the course of the project. So that's hiring gazebos to 21 events. We have 20 gazebos. As I said, it's £10. If anyone would like the link, please come and find us and I will give you the link and you can hire a gazebo. We have a new container, keeping the gazebos nice and clean. And I just want to thank Jyoti and her team for all the amazing support and what a great project PPP is in general. Thank you.
Evening, everyone. Thank you very much. Sorry, I'm quite close to the mic. My name is Niall from Muscle Basin Gym. We are a new gym opened up in Maryland, right? Myself and my business partners, we're not from Newham actually, we're from Tower Hamlets and kind of Essex. We decided to come to Maryland. We realized there was a massive need for community members to be engaged in physical activity. So in 2 months, just so you understand, 2 months of opening up the gym, we realized there's been so much antisocial behavior along the street. We had people break into our gym. We've had people, you know, stand outside the gym, cause havoc. And we spoke to the young people, and what they said to us is, we want to see, you know, more physical activities provided to young people. There's no youth centers around Maryland much, so they wanted to come inside the gym. Gym is a necessity, it's a luxury service. A lot of young people can't afford it, so we decided to kind of apply to funding and deliver over 100 classes where it was 2 sessions a week to young people to kind of attend the gym, where we delivered calisthenics workshops, training, and provided them with body kind of weighted exercises for them to kind of take away, learn, but at the same time be fit and healthy. We had over 100 young people attend consistently. I think about 20% were female, which is absolutely amazing. We had to actually eventually put a female-only class on from our own pocket. So again, it was absolutely amazing. I haven't got much evidence to show you guys because it's underneath these guys' hoodies and jackets. So the muscles that they've kind of achieved. But yeah, I'll let them say a few words in terms of what they got out of it. Who's going to talk?
My name is Islam. Ever since when I first started the gym, I didn't know anyone there. But now every time I walk in that gym, everyone's like my brother there. And I think it's great. It's helped me get stronger mentally and physically. It's a massive stress reliever as well from college exams and everything. I think it's great. I think every young person should be going to the gym. Yeah.
Yeah, and that's it really. In terms of sustainability, we have applied for our funding. We'll be continuing these sessions hopefully through February, March and April through London Youth Funding. We're also going to be, we've got a commercial entity of it and we're going to be reinvesting some of that commercial income into the young people, into the community. So we should be carrying these on. And we've also got free female sessions still going on because that was really popular. So thank you very much.
Hi everyone, I'm Sarah, the lead for Feeding Newham project. We had a pop-up food bank stall in Forest Gate and Maryland at Wood Grange Market, Emmanuel Church and Maryland Point. We give away over 2,000 bags over the period, which amounted to over £60,000 worth of food. We posted leaflets and put the word out there so residents could come. At the start of it, people was a little bit apprehensive, especially the older community. We'd see them kind of walk past with a leaflet, but it was too embarrassed to come over and collect the bag. And we got to speak to them, got to know them, and by the end of it, they had the confidence to come over and get their free bag of food because they told us how much it meant, because rather than have to worry about being able to eat or put the heating on, that week they could do both. So it was a massive impact on the community. And there was a few residents, we had a few tears at the end when they knew it come to the end. But we done a big finale where we give away 120 hampers for them for Christmas gifts. One of the residents said it was the first Christmas gift she'd ever had. But it was absolutely brilliant. It was lovely to mix with everybody. And I just want to thank Jyoti, Sandra, Lynette, Mimi for all their support. And also the working group members, Lauren, Pauline and Josephine. Lauren, she come every week tirelessly, filling bags and ripping boxes. It's not easy, you know, what we do. It's all voluntary work. Pauline also was there very regularly, filling bags for us. So I really appreciate everybody's help because, you know, we reached a lot of people and I think it meant a lot. So thank you.
Thank you. I've got Jyoti breathing down my neck, I think, so I'll go quick.
This is a project that's at Henniker Point. Oh, sorry. Project that's at Henniker Point Flats on the area just outside and on the Leytonstone High Road as well. Excuse me, I just need to. Yes, so my name's Julie Walker, one of the project leads, and there's two project leads, so Sue Cooper, who couldn't be here tonight. The funding was to further develop the Henniker Point Flats community gardening to make more inclusive and to update 14 metal planters for Maryland residents to adopt. We achieved 2 accessible planters, so one sitting alongside the existing planters on the high road and also one alongside the 14 metal planters. The community garden events throughout the year were attended by Henniker Point residents and members of the local community and also the wider areas. Collaborative community gardening events with Food Bank, University of East London, Henniker Point residents composting project and combined with a litter pick. So we also had an installation of 2 water butts so that residents can easily water their plants. We have a braille plaque that will shortly be installed and also 14 plaques that will be installed on the 14 planters that have been adopted. And the quotes will be chosen by each of the residents, including belief in yourself, where there is life, there is hope. And another one is the Dirt Diggers Community Gardens. Additional plaques will be installed on the high road community planters, such as on health and safety, a poem and so on. We also have an installation of a shed next week that will store all our equipment. So from the data, we had approximately 143 participants over the year, 7 regular volunteers and 15 across the duration of the project. Volunteers came from mainly the Maryland and Stratford area, but also Forest Gate, Ealing, King's Cross, Leyton. Ages from 4 to 69, 12 indicated a disability or long-standing illness, and we also had a very good mix of cultural groups. We had in total donations of £1,991.09, which included donations of plants from the Lighthouse Project, watering cans, seeds, and so on. Feedback included the area is transformed, it looks stunning. I feel happy walking up to the entrance of the flats now, and it makes me smile. This looks so good. You should all be proud of yourself. And I walked past yesterday and it looks beautiful. Post-project maintenance, I will be taking over the Adopter Planter project and working with the residents, and Sue will take over the community planters on the high road. Lots more information, but I think I better stop. Just thanks to all the volunteers and especially the regulars. Jasbir is one of our regulars. Jotty, who went the extra mile to support and was very much appreciated, Mimi Newton, Glenette, and so on. So thank you to everybody.
Hello, everyone. I'm Lara Zotova, and this is my project, Nature Builders. I'm going to be very quick. We did amazing. We had a lot of children, around 10, 15 schools around, come twice a week, playing games, creating stories, planting, singing, dancing. We did everything. I think it was a very successful project, and I'm really grateful for PPP because it was just truly a good example to show how just a simple kind of resident mother in Forest Gate can create such a beautiful forest school, as I was trained as a forest school leader. But just by community really voting for me and giving me opportunity to deliver that for so many children who are loving me still and coming over and saying when we were going to play. And these two are also my lovely children who are loving nature and students. I always say that they cannot protect and love this earth if they don't love it. And that's what we do there. We love it. We love nature. We love earth. Thank you.
Ready? Ready? Okay, I'm just going to say a few words whilst Chris works his tech magic to get a video going. I did a video because I didn't know whether I was going to be able to be here tonight because of childcare reasons. I have managed to figure something out because the kids have got quite a strict bedtime that I want them to stick to. But I would like you to watch the video anyway because one, I put loads of work into it, and two, one of the other committee members who can't be here, she donated her time to do the voiceover. It's
Sorry, Chris, we can't see or hear it. Oh.
Bringing literature, art and science to the Up Garden. The Up Garden is an abandoned laundry yard reclaimed by local residents and transformed into a vibrant urban community hub. It is open every day, all day for free for anyone to use as they need. Our project was to bring the following into this space for all to enjoy. Literature in the form of a book exchange, art in the form of a community piano, and science in the form of a nature trail. Our book exchange encourages literacy and sustainable recycling of unwanted books. Volunteers donated over 200 hours to renovate our telephone box from its dilapidated state. Our community piano makes music accessible and saved this piano from going to waste. Volunteers donated over 105 hours to source a piano and design and create a weatherproof cabinet for it. Our nature trail helps visitors to explore and learn about British urban wildlife. Volunteers donated over 45 hours to install the rubbing plaques and design the educational web pages. The Up Garden wishes to thank the hundreds of people who engaged with and voted for our project, the London Borough of Newham for our grant of £4,000, the businesses who gave discounts or donated services and items, the total savings are estimated to be around £2,500, and the 25 volunteers who donated over 500 hours, which equates to at least £6,925 of free labour based on the London living wage, or £9,975 if adjusting for the proportion of skilled labour. Even though People Power Places is completed, our project lives on. Our book exchange, community piano and nature trail will be available to everyone for many years to come. Bringing literature, art and science to the Up.
Sorry to disturb again, we can't hear you online.
Bringing literature, art and science to the Up Garden.
Okay, last video didn't play well, so we'll try and play it again. Thank you everyone for the presentations, for giving the feedback, really, really strong feedback. And I hope everybody online enjoyed. And thank you all online for staying with us because we have been running late. I think now is the time. I think I'll ask Councillor Charlene McLean to say a few words, unless anybody has any questions before she speaks. Any questions, please? No? Thank you. And I'm passing you on to our Community Cabinet Lead, Councillor Charlene McLean. Thank you. To say a few words.
Brilliant. Thank you so much, Jyoti. I'll keep my comments very brief because I know that you're running a bit behind schedule, and I want the people in the room to have the opportunity to go around and speak to the project leads. But thank you for the project leads that did present, so that us people online can hear the wonderful, wonderful stories about what you've done. I just wanted to thank the working group members, for the councillors for their involvement, for the project leads, but most importantly, the residents that voted for all of the projects and were engaged in the process in any way that they were. And also to our corporate director that did attend and has seen how wonderful the project is. And People Power Places, as she mentioned, is definitely, you know, it's something that everyone wants to know. All the other boroughs want to know how we do what we do, and pinching our ideas, which is fine. That's okay. We're happy to share. It was lovely to see the collaboration between the different projects, and that, you know, they've been helping each other and learning from one another. The next cycle of People Power Places, the cabinet paper, is coming next month. So fingers crossed that all goes through okay. But yeah, I'll leave you to your evening. But thank you so much, and especially to you, Jyoti, and the team for supporting the residents on their journey, and that all your projects have completed. Well done. Thank you.
Thank you, Councillor McLean. And now, I think, Chris, we are going to switch back to or should we just open the marketplace? Okay, so now everybody has heard from everybody. Once again, let's an applause for all our project leads. Once more. And are there any questions online? Anybody wants to ask any questions?
Not that I know of. Anyone online to ask anything?
Yeah, it's the Emmanuel Church online by chance.
Yes, I think so.
Okay, no, that's fine. Okay, now we open the marketplace, everyone. And what you can go around, you can speak to the project leads, you can ask the questions you have. We're also going to give you a bingo card. So like I said earlier, this will help you to facilitate the conversations. It's like a quiz. You can find out more about the project leads. Please come back at 7:55 so that we can finish by 8 o'clock. Over to you, the residents now. And oh yeah, sorry, I've got that online. We're going to finish now. Thank you everybody for being online.